Hey dolls, and welcome back to my channel. So on this channel I usually do makeup and skincare reviews, so you get a general idea on how products work on a usual consumer before purchasing them. So if this kind of video appeals to you, don't forget to like this channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll always be updated once a new video is out. So on this video we're going to do a review, a try on, a photo test, and a wearability test of the new Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Blur Plus Smooth Tint Stick. So this skin tint stick just launched last August 11th, so it's very new. So on the Fenty Beauty's website, it's described as a light coverage with Longwear formula that melts effortlessly for a second skin natural finish. It also is described as creamy, smooth texture that instantly blurs. So this costs $47.50 Canadian, and it has 9 grams, which I think is perfectly priced because I just pulled up the price for the Hourglass foundation stick, which is also a natural finish foundation stick. It is at 63 Canadian dollars, but only for 7 grams. I also think that because it has skincare ingredients like the Muru butter, which is a moisturizing skincare ingredient that I haven't seen in other foundations yet, I think that's why it's priced at that point. When it comes to packaging, I really like the packaging. It's very sleek with the gold details and then the Fenty logo, and I like the transition of the color from brown to white. And what's unique about this packaging is that you can twist it all the way up. Usually it stops there, right, for foundation sticks, and then whatever is left at the bottom you just have to scoop it out. But this one twist up to the very last part of the skin tint. And if you are filming your skin tint, don't be like me. I filmed this sideways, so the foundation stick actually fell on the floor and I had to put alcohol in it, so it's kind of damaged. And I also like that it has 100% recyclable material, so you don't have to rinse it, scrape it, because it goes all the way up, and as soon as you're finished with it you just have to toss it in your recycling bin. So I like that fact that they thought about that recycling aspect. So I have combination skin. I have oily T-zone, dry on some other parts, and when it comes to claims with this skin tint, it claims to be a Longwear light buildable coverage that resists fading and transferring. It also claims to be easy to use and you can apply anywhere, anytime, no tools required. It also has Muru butter that melts into skin and helps provide all-day hydration. It also claims to have that quick blur complex that delivers a blurred and smooth second skin finish. And it has a sodium hyaluronic that helps provide hydration and color true pigments that help resist oxidation. So I already moisturized my skin, and then I use this Supergoop sunscreen. This also acts like a primer, so I didn't put any primer on. I just used this sunscreen. This skin tint comes in 25 shades. So I got the shade number 7, which is for light medium with warm neutral undertones. Let's do one swipe here, and I'm just going to use my fingers on my right side. Oh wow, I would say that's a medium coverage. I'm gonna do one more swipe here. A powdery finish. I don't know if it's because of my primer, but that's how I feel. You know those moussey foundations? That's how it feels like when it sets on the face. Let's do one more here. One more here. Like, it's really clinging to the dry spots of my face. Like, my nose looks so dry. So I'm just going to remove all of this, and then we'll just do a moisturizer to prep. So hold on. So I'm going to just use this moisturizer. This is from Glow Recipe. It is their watermelon juice pink moisturizer. Usually with skin tint, I skip priming and just use a moisturizer. So let's try it again. On this right side, I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to do 2 swipes. Okay, that glides so much better. And then on spots that I wanna conceal, I'm just gonna use my fingers and tap it there. Now I realize that this actually doesn't really have a powder finish. It was the unseen glow screen that made it powdery, because this now feels more moisturizing. Is this water-based? No, it's silicone-based. I thought that it would go with like the silicone-y primer, but I guess not. Comparing it with the other skin tints that I have used, I guess because it is in a stick form, it gives me a soft glow, but very, very minimal actually. I find that it is more on the soft matte finish, but when I do this, I can actually see some glow, but I feel like it's because I also prime my face with the moisturizer. This is my natural glow without the skin tint, and this is with the skin tint. I think that it didn't add more glow to my skin, and because it has that soft matte finish, I think that it really helped in blurring out my pores. Not too much though. I can still see a lot of my big pores here not being minimized. Let's see if I add more there. See, it lays really flat, so it doesn't really... Let's see, I'm going to do a circular motion and see if it hides my pores. So I think my pores look better and more blurred once I added more skin tint to it. So comparing the side with the skin tint to the side without, I can see that it evened out my skin tone and made my skin look a little smoother. Now let's go on this side and use a brush. I added this much because this doesn't give more coverage when you blend it out, so I think it just gives coverage to wherever you put it on. So when it comes to application, I find that wherever you want to cover, you need one swipe for that spot. You can't just blend it and assume that it's gonna cover a large area, because it is a skin tint after all, so it's supposed to give you a lighter coverage. Side-by-side comparison with before I put my skin tint and with one layer of skin tint, I can see that it provided a medium coverage. It didn't add much glow, but it really helps in hiding the redness on my face, and I can see its blurring effect. I'm going to do a second layer just to see how buildable this skin tint is. I'm just gonna tap my brush. Oh yeah, that looks so much better than swiping the skin tint. And then I'm going to use a concealer. Let's see. The skin tint does not move even when I'm applying products on top, which is a good sign. And then for blush, I'm going to use this Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil in the color Barely Blushing. I'm gonna let the skin tint set for a bit, and I'm going to use my Huda matte liquid eyeshadow in Cinnamon Toast and use this as my eyeshadow. And then for the lips, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Glow Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. I love this gloss so much. Without any powder, let's see if this is really transfer proof. It is indeed transfer proof. Like, to think that it still feels very tacky. I'm surprised that it didn't transfer so much on my paper towel. I can see a little bit of the skin tint, but not a lot. I think that this is really transfer proof, especially when I set it with powder. Let's see. So I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And at this point, let's do a photography test because sometimes the powder is a culprit for white cast. So let's just take a photo now with the powder and without the powder to see if it has flashback on flash photography. And this is how the skin tint is looking like on natural light. Is it just me or does it look a little cakey? So I just set my face with powder. Let's see. Oh yeah, it does not transfer. So this is how my face is looking like with full face of makeup. I have been trying a lot of skin tint and I just posted a previous ranking of skin tints. What I'm missing with this Fenty skin tint is the moisturizing factor. Now that it is set on my face and I've set it with powder, I don't feel that very moisturizing feeling compared to when I was using the Niacinamide and the Hourglass. But when it comes to finish, I really like the soft matte finish because I have oily skin. So we'll see throughout the day how this skin tint looks like. So I'll update you on the 4th hour and on the 8th hour. 1 hour update, there's no oxidation, it's the same shade. 4th hour update, it's not looking good. You can see the skin tint separating and fading on my face, especially in parts where I put my sunglasses. Those parts really faded away, and on my cheeks it looks very splotchy. So I'm back and I've been wearing this skin tint for 8 hours. And sad to say, it did not fade gracefully on my skin. It really looked splotchy, and wherever I put my sunglasses, those parts faded away. And there are spots here that doesn't have any foundation anymore and spots here as well. So it didn't fade on one layer. I wouldn't say it is fade resistant because a lot of the skin tint is not on my face anymore. And also the skin tint synced into my pores. It really highlighted the texture, especially on the side of my nose on the 8th hour. I would say that it actually helped in controlling my oil. I don't look as oily. I only have oil on the top of my forehead and then on the side here, but it's not as bad. I just didn't like how splotchy it looks and how the skin tint really synced into my pores. So I'm giving the skin tint a 3 out of 5 stars. It's true that it's buildable and that it is transfer proof. Until now, actually, it still doesn't transfer, but in my experience it didn't wear long and it did not resist fading. Throughout the day, the skin tint feels very light, but I didn't feel that it hydrated my skin or moisturized my skin. I initially put moisturizer on my face before putting the skin tint, and I didn't even see a difference. The side with the skin tint has the same glow as the side where I just put a moisturizer, so it didn't even add a glow on my skin. And it's true when they say that this really melts into your skin on initial application. Even when I rubbed my finger on top of the skin tint, you can see that it can easily melt onto the warmth of my finger. But once it's set, it transformed into a soft matte finish. And I don't mind that because I have oily combination skin. And if I can find a skin tint that's not overly glowy, that will be perfect for me, especially for summer. But I just didn't like how splotchy my face looks after the 4th hour, and also it got worse on the 8th hour. I've never tried a Fenty beauty product that I didn't love, but this might be the first one. So I really love their Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I actually have two of this, one in a travel size, and that's what's in my personal makeup kit, especially when I'm going to events or going out. That's my go-to foundation, and even when I traveled to Italy, that was my go-to foundation. And I think if you have oily skin and you have big pores, I think that this is the perfect product for you. I think that if you want a lighter coverage and you appreciate the light coverage of a skin tint, you can just sheer this out. So for me, I don't think I would need this skin tint. I think that I will just use this and sheer it out instead. So again, I didn't use a setting spray when I used this. So tomorrow I'm gonna test this out with a setting spray, and then I am going to pin a comment on the comment section below, and I'll update you how it wears throughout the day. Maybe it will be different. So sadly, for my experience today, I would have to say I am not a fan of this skin tint. I don't think it worked really well on my oily combination skin. So if you have used this skin tint and you have other skin type, or if you have the same skin type as me but it really worked well on you, just comment down on the comment section what tips you have for me to make it work so that we can help the community out. So that's it for my review. I hope that you find this video helpful, and if you did, please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll always be updated once a new video is out. Thank you so much once again for watching. I'll see you on my next one.